Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I give myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to begin by thanking several people who played a significant role in getting us to where we are today. And starting, of course, that is the gentleman from Kansas, Mr. Moore, the sponsor of the bill. He has exhibited tremendous leadership and persistence as well, as indicated, in moving this legislation to the floor today, and so should be commended for his hard work. But I'd also like to congratulate the gentlewoman from Florida, Mrs. Brown-Waite. Of course, she was the Republican lead sponsor on this bill the last two Congresses, and she has worked tirelessly on this very important issue. So I'm pleased now to have the opportunity to take up the mantle from Ms. Brown-Waite and move this legislation forward. And finally, I would like to thank the National Association of Insurance Commissioners, and specifically Dr. Teresa Vaughn, for their efforts in working closely with all of the interested parties. I believe that the inclusive and deliberative process that this legislation has undergone should serve really as a model as we continue to work on revamping and modernizing other aspects of our financial regulatory framework. Mr. Speaker, H.R. 2571, the Non-Admitted and Reinsurance Reform Act of 2009, will reform and streamline the regulation of non-admitted, that's surplus lines, insurance market as well as the reinsurance market. Now, Title I, which addresses surplus lines market, what that will do is to reduce regulatory overlap and clarify where the appropriate taxing authority really should lie with each market transaction. It also will establish the NAIC's eligibility requirements as a standard for the participation in the surplus lines marketplace. These provisions will basically increase efficiency, they'll work to reduce transaction costs, and they'll work to improve the access to the entire market for our consumers. Now, if we go into Title II of the legislation, that section addresses several important areas within the reinsurance market. What the bill will do is create a procedure to establish a single solvency regulator for each reinsurer and eliminate the extraterritorial application of state laws with regard to reinsurance. And it also will provide for a more meaningful and really a simplified process in determining the credit for reinsurance that companies will receive. So, both the surplus lines and the reinsurance titles are vital to promoting further harmonization for transactions occurring across state lines and eliminating unnecessary red tape, which basically will help to reduce costs for consumers. And so, in this increasingly complex world, it is essential that consumers and businesses be able to purchase insurance from risk outside of their traditional realm. And I believe that this legislation will further increase efficiency and reduce costs for these very important transactions. Similar variations of this legislation, as Mr. Moore indicated, have passed the House in the last two Congresses by unanimous vote. And so it's my hope, as it is Mr. Moore's as well, that this bipartisan legislation will once again pass today unanimously. And so I ask all my colleagues from both sides of the aisle to support this legislation. And with that, I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman from New Jersey reserves the balance of his time. Gentleman from Kansas.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank again my friend, the gentleman from New Jersey, Scott Garrett, for his work on this bill.